A Valley veteran was laid to rest today. For the past 2 years, his body was kept at a funeral home. There was no one to claim him. His family never located.
Channel 5's Angela Vargas was able to get to know more about this veteran. He joins us in the Channel 5 News studio with more.
Air Force veteran Donald Kent's legacy doesn't end with the sounds of this trumpet. It begins with the people who adopted him as their own.
We all came from different walks of life, different corners of the country and different religions, and you set all that aside when you start, being there for your brother.
Army veteran Aaron Morales is one of many people who decided to show respect at the Rio Grande Valley State Veterans Cemetery.
It was great to honor him.
Kent's life is ill-represented by this cemetery. We learned he's a man full of life. He called a hotel in McAllen home.
He lived in room 116.
We spoke to the family who took care of Mr. Kent off camera. They tell us he used to live in the old La Quinta Inn that used to sit right here. We spoke to the manager of La Quinta Inn. She tells us he lived here for 10 years.
He had a little electric scooter, so he was known for that, and he would just scooter on down all over McAllen, or as close to the older property as he could.
La Quinta manager Carolina Ramos tells us the family who took care of Kent works at the hotel. He was moved to a hospital in 2015. Kent died and his caretakers didn't have permission to find out what happened. This year, those same caretakers learned he was still at a funeral home. No one claimed his remains. They reached out to the Hidalgo County Veterans Services and the Rio Grande Valley State Veterans Cemetery for help. RGV State Veterans Cemetery Director Mary Hernandez explains.
Upon gathering as much information from her and from the funeral home, we were able to establish that he was a veteran, so we could proceed with burial.
Kent's memory will be preserved by those folks, his new family members, who are happy to see him honored in a way befitting an American veteran. Angelo Vargas, Channel 5 News, McAllen.
And we learned a total of 6 unaccompanied veterans are now buried in the Rio Grande Valley State Veterans Cemetery. The cemetery director still hopes family members of these unaccompanied veterans will come forward one day. And we also learned that veteran spouses and eligible dependent children can be buried free of charge at the Veterans Cemetery. This is a Channel 5 News Extra. That is quite a savings for a veteran. A funeral cost today can run about $10,000.